Hey everyone, it's Marcus from CarTurf. In this video, I want to show you how to search on mobile.de to narrow down your car that you want to purchase. And so we're just going to quickly get into it. I'll share my screen here so that you can see what I'm doing. Basically, when people reach out to CarTurf, they ask for advice on how to search for a car. And so what this video is intended for is to answer that question and to give you more details on how to narrow down your search, whether you're going to purchase a car remotely or you want to come in and test drive some cars on the ground. You can get a lot of the work out of the way just by using a site like mobile.de. So let's say head over to mobile.de, and if it pops up in German right away, scroll all the way down to the bottom and then select English as the language, or obviously any other language that you're comfortable searching in. And right away we're going to, instead of putting anything in here, we're going to go to more filters. And let's say I'm not very familiar with the German market or the European car market, so I don't know exactly what type of vehicles I want as far as make and models, but I have a good idea that I want a wagon or a sedan, let's say. So I'm going to select those. You can select the number of seats. I'm going to select 5. I don't want a 2-door. 4 to 5 means it, has a hatchback, for example, a back door. I'm going to go with a used vehicle. You can obviously go with any depending on your budget. Let's say my budget is anywhere from 5 to 15,000 euros. I'm going to put in just below 5, let's say 4820, and then just over 15,000 euros because there are probably some on there that if you negotiate correctly, you could bump it down to your price range. And then here's the price rating that mobile.de uses automatically. If enough details are given from the seller, then you'll see this scaling. So if it's slightly high priced, obviously it'd be orange, and then the better it gets down to dark green. First registration date, let's say I want at least a 2011 vehicle. I don't want more than 125,000 kilometers. Now in Germany, a lot of people will trade in their vehicle at between 80 and 100 or so. So you'll see a lot of those on here. I do want it to be roadworthy, so I'm going to click on that. HU, this is important to know what that is. That's the Hauptuntersuchung, or the inspection. So some dealers will provide a new one, which is ideal. We generally recommend that you ask the dealer to provide a new inspection so you don't have to worry about it, and it kind of gets any of those safety and emission questions out of the way that could arise after you purchase, and then you have something to worry about. So I would say generally under 12 months is good. So you don't have to mark anything there necessarily. Just for the initial search. I'm going to limit my search to Germany. You can obviously choose other countries. Registering a car in Germany through CarTurf is easier because we'll have that German inspection. Otherwise, you have to potentially have the car transported to Germany and get an inspection. So wherever you buy in Germany, if it has an inspection, we can do it remotely. We can do the registration remotely. I'm not going to choose gasoline over diesel or vice versa here. I'm just going to leave that open to see what is available in my price range. You can, if you want an automatic only, if that's a deal breaker, click it. If not, then leave it open. Just for the sake of, I'm going to leave that open for this demo because you can see the price difference between manual and automatic as well. I'm not too attached to the color. I'm going to also click cruise control for me. That's important. There may be other, there's a ton of filters that you can click on here. There may be some deal breakers here depending on what your trip entails. So go through those and click as necessary. Interior color. I mean, they have so many filters that you can, alarm system. You should be able to list your deal breakers and your preferences. I'm gonna just leave it as it is because the point of this video is just to show you what is available. So you see all my filters at the top. If I want to change anything, I can click on more filters. I can change the condition. As I scroll through these and I see specific makes and models, I may decide to change the make and model to a specific one to only bring up those vehicles. I'm going to make sure that it's listed to buy. Now again, the price and the registration, so the year and the mileage is on the left here, and then obviously any other details. So as I scroll down, well, before we do that, at the top you can sort by lowest price first, mileage, first registration, listings. I'm just gonna leave it at standard sorting. So let's say I'm willing to spend up to 15,000 euros. You can see what I can get for 14,377. Skoda Octavia wagon, 2017, 115,000 kilometers. Peugeot, Opels are quite good deals in most cases as far as German reliability, and not a lot of foreigners know about Opel. 2009, it's a 2018, 79,000, almost 80,000 kilometers Opel Insignia for 13,000, 170 horsepower, decent car. Ford Mondeo, you'll see a lot of VW Golfs. Skoda is owned by VW Group. Let's see, Opel Corsa, Hyundai i30, Seat. So just a quick search will give you an idea, and you'll notice most of the time that if you're looking for a luxury brand like Mercedes, you'll notice that this is a 2014 with 78,000 kilometers at the same price point as, let's say, a Peugeot 308, much newer and less mileage. Or over here, 2020, 78,000 is Opel Astra. So, if you're going with a Mercedes, you're going to have to expect to go with an older vehicle, more miles, generally at the same price range. A Seat, Opel Astra, Toyota Aris, Fiat 500X, Kia Soul. So Skoda Fabia, that's a decent one, 2019, 97. So I'm going to open a few of these. I'll go to the second page real quick. So let's say I'm going to lean towards something like this VW Golf 7 for 13,000. Now, this is just to give you an idea of what's at your budget. You don't have to put 15 if that's not your budget. Put 10 or 8 or whatever. Obviously, the higher you go, the better options you have. But I want to show you real quickly. If I'm looking at this VW Golf for 13,000, this doesn't have a rating, probably because some of the details are mismatched. You can see here's the dealer. You can scroll down a little bit more to see the details of the dealer. But first of all, we see that it's a gasoline engine, 2013, 113,000 kilometers. I think maybe it's a little bit overpriced for that year, maybe not. Energy consumption is 5 liters per 100 kilometers. It's very decent for a gasoline. Euro 5. Now this is important. Again, look for HU and then the month and year, May 2026. That means the inspection is valid through May of 2026. So you don't necessarily have to get an inspection in the next, year and a half, well, less than a year and a half. Again, you can ask the dealer to, if the car's in good shape, they should not have any rejection or argument against you asking them to renew it. They may ask you to pay for it. It's about 150 euros to get an inspection in Germany every 2 years. So yeah, you can just look at all of the details, and then here you're going to see the vehicle description. Obviously, this will most likely be in German. You can use your browser to translate that, or just copy and paste into a translator. A lot of them have, phone numbers, emails, WhatsApp. You're going to get more luck calling them, and that's where CarTurf comes in. If you can't get them to answer, just let us know. We can give them a call. But here's the dealer, and it doesn't look like, oh, here's the ratings. So you can cross-reference these ratings. They've been on mobile.de for 15 years. You can cross-reference these ratings and this address with Google Maps and their reviews there as well. So let me see if we can find some other examples. Here are all used cars. So if you're looking, and the price on all of these is the final price, or obviously unless you negotiate a different deal. It's generally easier to negotiate when people are willing to negotiate in Germany. It's not a huge range, but it's generally easier to negotiate something in addition, as far as like winter tires or a new inspection, new service, things like that, then significantly reduce the price from the seller. So keep those things in mind. Let's look at something on the low end. Okay, so here's a good example before I move on. So this Ford Focus wagon, pretty good deal, I would say, for the amount of mileage it has, 54,000 kilometers. So you have to, if you're coming from the US, convert that to miles. It is kilometers, so much less. 2019 gasoline engine. Now it has this 14,900, and then it says 19% VAT. So even though this is a used vehicle, normally when you buy a vehicle as a private individual, the end user will pay the VAT. So because this is 2019, it's still a used vehicle, but it was most likely used as a rental or a company car, and so they did not pay the VAT, and now the individual who's buying it for the first time as a private individual will be paying the VAT. So it's good to know the difference between the end price. If you didn't expect to pay 19% VAT, then that's a big difference. So you get a good idea of, there's a lot of VW, Skodas, Peugeots, Citroens, a few Hyundais, a few Mercedes and BMWs in this price range, Audi. But let's say, what happens when we change the filters? We're going to change the price just over 10. And then right here, you'll see all the offers diminish because we put more limitations on the price here. Okay, so again, we're going up to about 10,000 euros, between 5 and 10. You'll see Opel again, quite a few of those, Skoda. You'll see the same that we just saw, just older, Renault, Honda Jazz, Opel Astra. So in this price range, you'll see a lot of the same, just slightly older, but decent deals for the most part. 107,000 kilometers on this 2013 Golf 7 1.4 liter. Yeah, I mean, and this dealer has 45 positive reviews, car style. You can buy anywhere in Germany, and CarTurf can register the vehicle without bringing it to CarTurf. It can just stay at the dealer. But really, you want to make sure that the dealer has good reviews, not because you're going to get scammed or anything. It's just that it's just much easier to deal with them if they have good reviews, because that will mean that they are generally better with their customers as far as communication and ease of doing business. So I'm looking for an example of like a vehicle that you want to look out for. Yeah, so there's dealerships all over Germany. You'll just have to use these. The reason we recommend using mobile.de, you can use other platforms like autoscout24.de. You can even use the eBay Kleinanzeigen. It's the former eBay listings called Kleinanzeigen.de. That's also good. A lot of dealers are on there, more private people. But the reason that we use mobile is because there's so many different filters you can use to narrow down your car search. And then when you decide, oh, I want to purchase the vehicle remotely with CarTurf, or just purchase it on my own because I reach out to the dealer, they speak English, that's also fine. You can go through that process and do that remotely, not losing a ton of time because you were detailed in your search. But also, if you do decide to come to Germany to test drive a few of the cars that you really want to purchase or that you have in mind, you will minimize the time on the ground. Every day, every week that you're spending in Germany looking for a car obviously has its expenses in hotels, Airbnbs, wherever you're staying. So it's nice to do some of this work up front before coming to Germany and then looking for a car. So I think that gives you a good idea of what is available at these two price ranges that we had, 5 to 15,000 and 5 to 10,000. You can get very decent used cars with low mileage up to about 10,000 euros even. Here's a BMW 114 2014 with 83,000 kilometers, 8,900. Now this dealer doesn't have a lot of reviews, and it's like 3.5 stars. So I would cross-reference on Google Maps, see their reviews there. This, on the other hand, has better reviews and more of them. Use this as a utility to narrow down your search and get a good idea of what you can afford, what are your deal breakers. Some of these listings will have just kind of a word of advice when you're choosing a vehicle from a specific dealer. Every dealer in Germany by default is obligated to provide a 1-year warranty, a 1-year guarantee if they're selling to a private individual, which is good because they do their best to make sure that the car will be free of major issues. If you see a listing that says for companies or export only, that means generally, not always, but generally it means that the dealer or the seller could be, a small-time dealer, could be a big auto house dealership, are generally saying, we're not confident in giving a 1-year guarantee on this vehicle, so we'd rather, be free of that obligation. And we generally say stay away from export or company cars. Could be a legitimate reason, like they just don't sell a lot of those cars, so they don't want to take on the risk of needing to provide a warranty for a whole year, or there could be something seriously wrong with it. And most dealerships have some sort of resource to fix cars, to bring it to, they have their own shop or they have a partner shop. And if they can't fix it and it can't pass inspection, then that's a red flag. I will also say that some vehicles are more expensive to insure than others. Like BMWs are generally more expensive than VW or Skoda or something like that. So you'll want to look out for those types of things when you're budgeting for your car, because you could get a car that you really like and then the insurance would be more. But if you really invested in some specific type of car, then we can get less insurance or partial insurance or liability insurance, or take out some of the extras, so that's not an issue either. So I hope that is helpful to you. Go ahead and use mobile.de with all the filters to get a good idea of what you can fit in your budget, and reach out to us, send us some listings, and we'll look through them, see if there are any red flags. And once you're getting more serious about purchasing a car in Germany, we can help you through that process, get it registered, insured. We can reach out to the seller if they don't speak English. Some obviously will list the languages that they speak on at the bottom of their listing, so you can reach out to them. If they don't, then they'll probably only speak German or have limited foreign language speakers. You can write them typically on WhatsApp, an email. They don't generally, for a really good deal, you want to kind of reach out right away, and generally by phone. So those are some things that just are particular to the German market, how to use mobile.de to your advantage to speed up the process. So reach out to CarTurf if you have any other questions. Good luck in your car search.